Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Are there any questions?
Well, as we know, the White House, President Trump has been under a lot of pressure to release the Epstein files. Some are saying that's why there have been all these visits with Putin, etc., distraction. That's what the critics are saying, because none of the information has been released. Very interestingly, Ghislaine Maxwell has been interviewed by the Department of Justice, who've just released the transcripts of that interview. There's some cynicism, and I'm one of those cynical people around this. Her interview with the Department of Justice, I'll talk about why that was not the usual way these things are done. But in light of that interview, she's been moved from a high-security Florida prison for men and women to an all-female minimum security prison in Texas known for its arts and crafts programs. So her security has been downgraded. She has been moved to an easier prison, although the government is saying we are not promising anything to her. We're just asking her to be interviewed. So here's what's happened. She was interviewed by the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, a high-ranking Department of Justice official who happens to be a former personal lawyer of President Trump's. So President Trump, and no one would dispute this, has got rid of a lot of people from the Department of Justice who he felt weren't on his side. So this is no longer a separate entity to the Oval Office. This is almost an arm of the Oval Office. So the decision for this man, his name is Todd Blanche, to conduct this interview personally was widely criticised as highly unorthodox. Legal experts have said that this high-level involvement with no FBI agents or investigators is highly unusual and could undermine any of the evidence. There's no rigour around it. So they're saying that the lack of the FBI being present or sworn investigators undermines the reliability of this interview. Having such a high-level politician and a political appointee of Donald Trump's conduct this interview rather than career Department of Justice prosecutors or agents has raised concerns about potential political motivations. So let's put that aside and let's see what we've discovered through this interview, the transcripts of which have been released. It won't surprise you to hear that she did not bear witness or hear anything improper or illegal, no activity by any of the prominent people previously linked to Epstein.
Right.
How interesting. So she saw Donald Trump. She never saw him having a massage. She just knew he was friends with Epstein. She doesn't remember any other things. Bill Clinton doesn't remember him getting massages, nothing. Prince Andrew, all of that photographic evidence was doctored, etc., etc., etc. She said, I have never recruited a masseuse from Mar-a-Lago. I don't ever recollect doing that. Interestingly, Donald Trump himself has said recently he had a falling out with Epstein because Epstein was recruiting masseuses from Mar-a-Lago, one of whom was Virginia Giuffre.
That's right, the recently deceased.
That's right. So Maxwell says she has no memory at all of doing that. She, when talking about Trump, she says, I don't know how they met. I don't know how they became friends. I saw them together. I remember the few times I observed them together. They were friendly. They seemed friendly. Nothing untoward happened. So all the people who've been the high-ranking people, prominent people who've been accused of inappropriate behaviour are all, according to her, in the clear. This, of course, has outraged the scores of women who have told a different story about Ghislaine Maxwell trafficking them and the people they were expected to perform for. The family of Virginia Giuffre have said, we are outraged. The content of these transcripts is in direct contradiction with felon Ghislaine Maxwell's conviction for child sex trafficking. During this bizarre interview, she's never challenged about her court-proven lies, providing her a platform to rewrite history. They've also said this. If our sister could speak today, she would be most angered by the fact that the government is listening to a known perjurer, a woman who repeatedly lied under oath and will continue to do so as long as it benefits her position, her family said in their statement. So they said she is a monster who deserves to rot in prison for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So this, once again, tries to make liars out of all those women who told the same story and had been vindicated with these convictions. And she doesn't think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. That's the only...
What does she say about that? What's her take on that?
Well, she just said he does not kill himself. This was a failing of the prison system.
Right, okay. She's got hot and cold running crafts in Minsec.
Now I'm off to do some pottery.
Seems
You'll
pretty legit
excuse
to me.
Nothing to see
No,
here.
let's move
so
on.
let's all stop looking, people.